little bit forward in the sitting bones to lower the knees, or you can take Siddhasana, where the knees, the heels rather, come into the center of the pelvis and the shins line up. And that just gives your hip flexors a little bit of space, your body a little more room to breathe. Take your hands near your thighs, elevate the spine, let your shoulders drop back. And have a sense of awareness in your front body and your back body of balance. So do you feel like you're maybe a little forward or running a little back? See if you can come into balance. So you feel front and back body from the tailbone to the crown of the head balanced. And then slide your elbows a little bit behind your ribs and notice how that opens the space of your collarbones. And then let the arms just rest, palms up. Your eyes closed. And so yoga is uniting the consciousness and the heart. Today's practice, we're going to come into awareness of the balance of the front of the heart and the back of the heart. The back of the heart is that space between your shoulder blades as you bring your awareness to your breath. And awareness to your body responding to your breath. Just notice your breath at the top of your inhale in the space underneath your collarbones. And as you exhale your breath, just feel a sense of softening from the back of the shoulders down towards the hips. You might even visualize the breath and the circular motion flowing up the front of your spine on the in-breath. End of the inhale, lifting the collarbones, and then as you exhale, just like a soft wave down the back body, and softening the shoulder blades towards the hips. And take a few breaths into that space, just maybe setting an intention to be open to exploring this front body, back body, balance in the heart, front of the heart, back of the heart. And take 3 more breaths with this awareness. And then softly open your eyes just for a moment so you can watch. So think about your chin being level to the floor, your eyes soft so they can be open or closed, and just turn your head to look over your left shoulder. And then pause, open your eyes softly, notice where your gaze lands, and take your right elbow a little bit behind your rib again. The front of your right shoulder, just encourage it back. Inhale your breath, find the lift through your spine. And then as you exhale, let your head turn a little more deeply. Pause, notice the space between your right ear and your right shoulder. And as you exhale your breath, come back to center, slide that right elbow back forward. And then slowly turn, chin level to the floor, to your right. Back teeth apart. Notice where your gaze lands. And then slide that left elbow behind your left rib. Inhale your breath through your spine. As you exhale, notice the space between your left ear and your left shoulder. Exhale, come back to center, slide that left hand forward. Keep a soft gaze this time and go back to the first side. When you get to a natural stopping point, not forcing anything, inhale your breath, slide the opposite elbow behind the rib. Pause, notice the space between your ear and your shoulder. And as you exhale your breath and hold, just notice where your gaze lands here, probably a little further around. Find an inhale from that space. feel a lift from the back of your skull, kind of rounding up and forward over the top of your head. As you exhale your breath, come back to the center. Slide that elbow back forward so you're balanced, and then chin level to the floor. Go back to the second side. When you get as far around as you go, take the elbow on the opposite arm back, the front of the shoulder back. Inhale through this crown of your head. Again, the back of the skull like lifting up and over the top. And as you exhale, let your head continue in that direction, just as far as you go. And then slowly come back to center. Reverse the cross of your legs. Don't come out here for hip. And then take your right hand forward with your thumb up. And reach the arm further forward, and notice to do that, your shoulder blade glides away from your spine, and then bring it back. Do that a couple of times, just sort of like you're lubricating that back of your shoulder blade, kind of like the Tin Man. And then reach it forward with the shoulder blade away from the spine, take your arm up. And then reach a little higher, notice your shoulder goes up towards your ear more on that side. And take a breath in here, just feel that lift and length. And then exhale, bring that hand down and take the other hand forward. So reaching forward and then reaching back, and feel that movement of the shoulder blade away from the spine as you go forward and towards the spine as you go back in, and then come forward and take the arm all the way up. So this shoulder blade back of the heart space, sometimes here we want to let the shoulder blade lift away from the hip so your shoulder goes up by the ear. And then exhale, lower down. Good. So sometimes we want the shoulder blades to go away from the spine. Sometimes we want them to go up. Sometimes we want to keep them stable. So come onto your hands and knees. So weight bearing, we want to keep them stable. And when we think about opening the front of the heart and the back of the heart evenly, we need to bring awareness into kind of waking up this part of the body, the spine between the shoulder blades. So for now, before you come into the stable position, bring your awareness to the spine right between your shoulder blades. And as you inhale the breath, round it towards the ceiling and let your head hang. Notice the shoulder blades fanning out away from your spine. And then as you exhale, go the other way from the spine, back of the spine towards the front of your chest. Just draw in. Feel your shoulder blades kind of come more towards the spine. Pause there as you inhale your breath. Extend this crown of your head away from your shoulders. This is your stable pose when you're on your hands. Do that one more time. Inhale, spine between your shoulder blades. Let it round towards the ceiling. Let your head drop. And then as you exhale your breath, take your shoulder blades towards your spine. And just feel as if the spine between your shoulder blades and your shoulder blades themselves are parallel to the ceiling. Holding that, step 1 foot back, and then the other, and come to plank pose. You feel the stability here in your back of the heart space, the spine between your shoulder blades. And as you inhale your breath, lengthen through the crown of the head. And as you exhale your breath, feel your hands press. Feel that stability in your shoulders. Now find your low belly. And from the space below your navel, lift up towards the ceiling. Roll back on the balls of the feet to come into down dog. But here, let the shoulder blades glide towards your hands. Reach the heels back, reach the thighs back. Keep the whole handprint pressing. Inhale, feel the length from the crown of your head to your tailbone. Exhale, reach the top of the thighs back. Good. Inhale, take your gaze between your hands. Find your low belly, and from there, roll back into plank pose and see if you can right away find that stability position of the back of the heart, the shoulder blades towards the spine, like flat plates towards the chest. And then soften the spine between the shoulder blades a little bit more. So like, imagine it gets a little gooey there. Find your low belly, and again, come on up into downward dog. Let the shoulder blades glide towards your hands. And feel the length from the crown of your head to your tailbone in the in-breath. If you need to bend your knees to prevent the low back from rounding, you can do air on the side of lengthen the spine. So go ahead and bend your knees. And as you exhale, reach the heels and thighs back.
Good, inhale, take your gaze towards your hands now, walk your feet up there. Align your feet hip distance and parallel. And then hold the elbows and let your torso drape. Bend your knees as much as you need to so that you feel like the length in your spine is intact. So if you bend your knees more, you're able to bend more from the hip crease. So let yourself do that. Feel the weight of your arms and head just kind of being drawn downward towards the floor. But take your hands to your hips, take the elbows back as you inhale, come all the way up.
And then as you exhale, bring your hands down. Release the hands by your sides. Take your right arm forward again, thumb up. As you inhale, take that arm out. Spin out of the top with the palm out, thumb up, and reach all the way back. We'll see if you can do this with your chest staying forward towards your mat. Even as you reach back and open, and just notice, yeah, the sticky parts. If it hurts in the shoulder joint, modify. So don't reach as far back or don't reach as high up. And then the next time that you go back, pause, imagine you're pressing into a wall and turn your chest more forward. And now notice the back of the heart space. So see if you can draw the shoulder blades towards the spine a little bit, lift the head up. Good, and then exhale, release that arm down. Take the left hand forward, thumb up. Inhale, lift up, spin the palm out, reach as you come back. Again, just notice the tendency for the chest to turn towards the back of your mat. Do your best to see if you can keep it towards the front of your mat. Noticing the articulation of the shoulder joint and the movement of the shoulder blade as you reach back, it goes towards your spine. Next time you go back, just kind of hold there, pause, act like you're pressing into a wall, turn the chest forward, and then exhale, release that down. Just stand for a moment in Tadasana with your hands by your sides. And see if you can observe as you inhale your breath, that lift and lengthen your spine, good. That balance in the front of your chest and the back of your chest, just notice that. And then rotate the upper arms out, so the palms face out, and just pause there. Notice when you do that from the shoulder, the clavicle, the collarbone, it feels like it gets a little longer, a little broader. Just notice that. And then take the hands straight out from the shoulders, palms up. Reach from the center of your heart through the pinky finger side of your hand. Take the thumb side of your arm back a little more. And again, notice the opening in the front of the heart. Shoulder blades should feel like even plates pressing into the back body. Inhale, take the arms up, palms facing, reach the pinky side of the hand up. And then as you exhale, come from the hip crease. Bend your knees if you need to keep your back flat. Take your hands on your blocks in front of your mat. And inhale, come into a flat back hand with that. Now take your palms flat on the blocks. And then find that stability position in the shoulder blades. So draw the shoulder blades towards your spine. Feel like you're gonna do plank pose on the blocks, but we're not. Take your forehead parallel to the floor. Inhale, lengthen from the tailbone through the crown of the head. Good. So in this position, the front of your heart is parallel to the floor, the back of your shoulder blades parallel to the ceiling. See if you can draw the shoulder blades towards the spine and a little bit towards your hips more. And then shift your weight into your hands and see if you can really engage the shoulder blades a little more. So maybe lifting your heels off the floor. Good, and then as you exhale your breath, anchor the heels, fold from the hip crease. Come back into a forward bend with your hands on the blocks. You're going to take your blocks down by the sides of your feet. Step your right foot back. You come into a lunge with your left knee over your ankle. Reach the heel of your right foot back. Reach the crown of your head forward. Once again, press your hands flat into the blocks. Find your shoulder blades engaged towards your spine. Lengthen through the crown of your head. Drop the right knee down now. Come light on the fingertips on your blocks. Inhale, lift the chest up, and then take your elbows behind your ribs again. So notice when you do this, your shoulder blades go towards your spine now.
So if your low back is okay with it, do lift your hands up, take your elbows by the ribs, palms up, spin the thumbs back and lift the heart up. Good, release the hands back onto your blocks.
Set those out of the way, bring your hands to the mat. Bring your feet together, draw your low belly in, and then lower your hips a little below your shoulders, come into plank pose. So find that steady stability in the shoulder blade region of your body, and then roll onto the little twist out of your left foot, so your foot is lined up with your hand, and put your right foot midway between your left hand and left foot, take your right hand to your hip. So start with your base, your feet in your hands, just really connect to the floor. Lift your hips up and now draw your shoulder blades towards your chest more and open your heart to the ceiling. Inhale, take the top hand up. So see if you can find that balance in the front body and back body in the heart region in this pose. Find your breath as you inhale, spine lengthens. Lucy, lift your hips a little higher. There you go. And then as you exhale, the heart opens. So ability to hold here is really not so much about strength, it's about alignment. Release that hand down. Come back into plank pose, low belly less, spine lengthens. You come onto the little twist out of the right foot. Again, the foot lines up with the right hand, left foot midway between the hand and the foot, left hand to the hip. Coil the shoulder blades forward towards the chest. Stack your shoulders one on top of the other, wrist on top of wrist as you take the left arm up. Find your breath here. Lengthening the spine on the in-breath, and just be aware, front body, back body, evenly balanced here. Good, exhale, release that hand down, come back into plank pose. Lower onto your knees, and take your two blocks midway between your hands. Actually, a little closer to your knees midway. And then sit back onto your heels with your knees apart, big toes touching. And take the back of your upper arm onto the blocks, a little wider than your shoulders. Palms pressing. Reach your hips back and let your head hang through. Just hang down, yeah. So in this position, fingertips are straight up. Feel your shoulder blades dropping towards your chest. Feel the spine between the shoulder blades coming into what I call that gooey position. So it should feel like it's kind of like a slinky or a hammock, just kind of rounding forward towards the chest. Good, come on up, inhale. And set your blocks off to the side again. With your hands in front of your shoulders now. Press the palms down. Lift your armpits up and reach back into child pose, but keep the arms active. So palms press, armpits lift. Now in this position, I'll let your shoulder blades glide up towards your ears. Yeah, good. So then take the outer arm and lift it a little more towards the ceiling. So it feels like you're sort of rolling the arms in. And then keep that position, come onto all fours, tuck your toes, lift your hips, come back into downward facing dog. Letting the outer arms kind of rotate up towards the ceiling, letting the shoulder blades glide towards your ears, noticing the opening, the even opening in the back of your heart, spine between your shoulder blades and the front of your heart. Good, inhale your gaze forward. Exhale, step your right foot forward. Take your hands on the blocks. Coming back into the line here on this side. Reach the left heel back. Reach the crown of the head forward. So find that length here. Take your hands flat on the blocks. And find that stable shoulder blade position. So shoulder blades flat towards the chest, spine long. Shoulder blades towards the spine and forward towards the chest. And then lower the left knee down. And coil the heart up. And then walk the hands back. Grow the heart out, draw the shoulder blades forward and towards the spine. Take your elbows by the ribs again, palms up. Rotate the arms back.
Find your breath.
Good, release the hands down, lift your left knee off the floor, step that left foot forward. And fold over. We'll take your hands to your hips, take your arms back as you inhale, come all the way up. And as you exhale, take your thumbs to your sternum. Take your shoulder blades towards your spine. Take your heels down and thighs back. And then release your hands. And then again, be aware just of balance here, the whole front plane of the body, the back plane of the body. In the heart region, they should be parallel. In the tailbone region, there's a little bit of a tip in the pelvis, but not a huge one. Spin the arms out again, palms up, and inhale, take the arms up, fingertips reach. Exhale, this time through your heart center, and take your hands onto the blocks. Inhale, come into a flat back forward bend with your hands at the side this time. Take your shoulder blades towards your spine. Lengthen the spine from the tailbone through the crown. Good, exhale, fold in, step that right foot back, come back into a lunge with your hands on the blocks. Press the palms, engage the shoulder blades. Keep your hands there, and then take your left foot back and tuck your left toes on top of your right heel. So find your stability here, low belly lifts, shoulder blades towards the spine. Inhale by length. Exhale, lower that left foot down, drop to your knees. Come back into child pose, just leave your blocks off to the side. Press the palms, lift the armpits. Feel the shoulder blades glide towards your ears. The hips reach back towards your heels. So just observe that inner alignment, the spine and the center of your body, lengthening the back of the heart and the front of the heart, balanced. Inhale, come up to all fours, take your knees together, keep your feet together. Tuck your toes, come back into downward facing dog. Index finger, knuckle root, all the knuckles root. And then outer arms lift up, shoulder blades glide towards the ears. Inhale, take your right toe high to the sky. Good, exhale, kick your heel towards your bum, spin the right knee to the ceiling as you look under the right armpit. Notice your left shoulder blade, see if you can lift it and keep it balanced like the right. So even though your belly part of your body is twisting, your shoulder blade back in the heart is stable. Inhale the right toe up now. Exhale, take that right knee to your chest, hover here in a one-footed plank pose. And then step that right foot forward so your knee is over your ankle. Step your left foot a little to the left and forward. So your left heel is down, left toe is towards the left corner of your mat. Come on up with your hands and your hips. And pause for a moment, find your ground in the heels. So you take your back foot to the left more and your left heel back. So take your foot as far to the left as you need to so that both hip bones point forward. Draw your elbows back, find the shoulder blades, taking towards your spine. Lift the collarbones up. Clasp your hands behind your back. Take your index finger towards your heels and then lift the arm bones away from the ribs. And find your breath here. As you exhale your breath, root into both heels and drop your right thigh bone towards the floor. Your right knee is over your ankle. Take the arm bones back again. So if this is a limit for your shoulders, you can certainly not hold the hands and just reach the arm bones back. And then if you're still grasping, release the grasp. Take your arms back, reach through the pinky side of the hands, rotate the arms out now so palms go out. And then inhale the arms out, coming into warrior one. And find your breath here as you inhale, feel that flow of breath up the front of your spine. As you exhale, flow of breath down the back body. Let your shoulder blades lift up here. So again, the space between your shoulder and your ear decreases. Take the arm bones back. Take an in breath all the way up to your collarbones. Exhale, release the hands down. Lift your left heel and step your left foot. Line your feet up parallel, bend your knees, crisscross your forearms, hold your outer shins. hug your shins in and spin your upper thighs back and left. In this position, when you press the hands and roll the elbows slightly forward, you notice a little bit more engagement in the shoulder blades here too. Root through the heels, take your hands to your hips, coil the elbows back.
Inhale, come on up and pause with your arms straight out from your shoulders. From the heart, reach out through the pinky finger side of the hand. Take the arm bones back, shoulder blades towards your spine and towards your hips. And then as you inhale, let your shoulder blades glide up towards the ceiling and away from the spine as you take the arms up. Good, exhale, take your hands back to your chest, thumbs at the sternum, arm bones slightly back. Just observing even balance in front of the heart and back of the heart. Use the hands, come back to Tadasana, just notice how your body is feeling, how the heart, front and back is feeling compared to when you started class. Rotate the arms out again. Inhale, take the arms up, palms facing, arm bones back. Exhale through the heart center and bring your hands to your shins. We move to the blocks. If you got that, inhale, come into a flat back. Good, exhale, fold from the hip crease. Do grab your blocks again. Take that left foot back. Right knee over the ankle. Reach the left heel back. Find that length from the back heel through the crown of the head. Press your palms into your blocks. Draw your shoulder blades into that stable position, so towards the spine and towards the hips. Inhale, lengthen here. Good, exhale, lift your right foot off the floor. Take that right big toe and second toe hooked over your left heel. Lift your low belly. Keep your steady shoulder blade position. So as you draw your shoulder blades towards them. Yeah. So when shoulder blades are towards the spine, belly is also towards the spine. That's what creates stability. So it's more about alignment and strength. Find a long in-breath here. Exhale, lower that toe down. Drop to your knees, set your blocks out to the center. Bring your hands flat once again at the armpits. Stretch the arms, reach the hips back, find your breath. You feel your index finger knuckle, your thumb pad, all your knuckles press. Good, inhale, come up to all fours. Take your knees together, toes together. Come on up into downward facing dog. So feel the power of your whole handprint pressing. And then just inviting length, the armpits lift, the side waist lengthens, and then let the shoulder blades glide away from the spine and toward your ears. Good, inhale, take that left toe high to the sky. Exhale, left heel to your bum, spin the left knee towards the ceiling and look under that left armpit. And notice your right shoulder blade, so lifting the right armpit helps you keep that side from sinking. And then rotate from the belly a little bit more. Lift the left toe high in the sky. Exhale, left knee to your chest, hover here. Step that left foot forward. Take your right foot forward and to the right, so you can anchor the heel down with the right toes pointed at the right corner of your mat. Take your hands to your hips. Take a moment to find your ground in your heels and then turn the hips forward. Roll the elbows backward. Lift the heart upward. Clasp your hands if you're able. You can also, instead of releasing your hands, you could take a strap and hold it back there. So if you can clasp your hands, do. If not, modify by with the hands apart or a strap. Reach the index finger knuckle back. Reach the arm bones away from your ribs. And hold your chin level to the floor. And as you exhale your breath, let that left thigh bone lead the way in coming into a lunge. So the top of the left thigh dropping down. Both heels staying grounded. Heart turning forward. Now if your hands are clasped, release them and reach the little finger side of the hand back. Notice your shoulder blades here. Definitely towards the spine. Front of the heart open. Rotate the palms out now. Inhale, take the arms out. Now let the shoulder blades slide up towards your ears. And then take the arm moves back and feel the lower tip of your shoulder blade come in towards your heart. And find your breath here. Inhale all the way up to the collarbones. As you exhale, feel both heels root down. Take a long deep breath here. Good, exhale, release the hands to the heart.
Lift your right heel up. Step that right foot forward. Line your feet up parallel. And crisscross your forearms the other way. And then hug in. So shins in, upper thighs out. Your head relaxed down. Good, bring your hands to your hips, take the elbows back as you inhale, come all the way up.
And as you exhale, take your knees to your heart. Release your hands down. We're gonna move into a couple more standing poses, but is this making sense? You guys are getting, yeah, I'm asking the people in class, I'm assuming you guys online are good.
So have your blocks by the sides of your feet, actually take them behind your heels. Take your hands to your hips, and start with right foot forward, and take your left foot back so that your arch lines up with your right heel.
And take your hands to your hips. So anchor the heels, the balls of the feet, lift and stretch the toes. And then take your arms out with your palms up once again. So from the center of the sternum to the pinky finger side of the hands, create as much space as you can. Now spin your palms facing forward, knuckles back. And from the back of your shoulder to the back of your knuckles, just reach the arms back a little more. So see if you can observe in this position, the front of the heart and the back of the heart in balance. We're aiming to keep it that way as you turn the hips towards the front foot now and reach the right arm to the right. Take your time. So keep that front body, back body openness, and then just lightly take your right hand on the block by your calf. Left hand straight up. Notice if you feel like your torso is pitching forward. So if so, take your tailbone a little more towards your back heel. Inhale, extend the length in the spine. As you exhale, just lean back through the shoulders. In this position, both shoulder blades evenly like plates pressing forward towards your chest. Find your breath here. And now spin your left hand to face to the right, palm to the right, and then reach that arm long by your ear. In this position, your right shoulder blade stays like that plate, but now let your left one glide away from the spine and the left shoulder draw up towards your ear. Feel length from that back heel, left heel, all the way up the left side waist to the fingers. As you exhale your breath, drop your right thigh bone down to bend the knee. Lower your block and put it by your ankle. Just notice here what happens to the alignment of the front of the heart and the back of the heart. So again, take the tailbone towards the back heel. Maybe press the right thigh into the left arm to create that stability in the left shoulder blade. So let the left shoulder blade come forward. Let the right one lengthen. Long in breath here. Exhale, take that left hand down to the opposite block. Lift your left heel, come back into a lunge. Palms flat on blocks, crown of the head forward, shoulder blades engaged. Just notice the stability that provides. And then step your left foot forward, hands on the blocks, elbows point back, crown of the head points down. You take your hands to your hips, take the elbows back as you inhale, come off right up. Good, and as you exhale, take your hands to your heart. Release your hands to your hips, take your right foot back now. So your arch is lined up with your front heel. Root the heels, root the balls of the feet, lift and stretch the toes. Like train the back heel, a little angle back. And then extend the arms with the palms up. Once again, reach from the center of your chest with the pinky finger setting. And then spin the palms forward from the back of the shoulder to the back of the knuckles. Just take the arms back a little more. observe front body, front chest, back heart. Kind of parallel and balanced. Turn the hips to the left. And reach from the left arm, so the pelvis is turning left. But the front body, back body balance in the heart region. Stays even. So shoulder blades towards the chest. Sternum turning towards the ceiling, shoulders stacked, wrists stacked, find your breath. As you inhale the breath, feel the breath along the spine, coming all the way back up to the collarbone region again. And as you exhale the breath, invite that top shoulder blade really in towards the chest a little more. That'll take the shoulder back. Just feel the stability in your whole body as you align it correctly. And then spin that right palm to the left and reach the arm long by your ear. And feel length from the back heel to the pinky finger setting. So in this position, again, the right shoulder blade is reaching away from the hip, away from the spine, and the shoulders coming up by the ear. The left shoulder blade is coming forward towards the chest. Let the top of the left thigh drop on your next exhale. Roll your block by your ankle, coming to side angle. You keep the top, set your right shoulder blade. Reaching towards your ear, and then coil both shoulder blades in towards your chest a little more, so your sternum can turn up. For the exhale, release that hand down, one hand to each block, lift your right heel. Pause here, find length from the back heel through the crown of the head. Feel the stability as the palms press, the shoulder blades like two even plates again, butt on your back. The crown of your head reaching away from the shoulder blades. Step your right foot forward. Point the elbows back and fold in. And exhale, take your rest your hips and your elbows back. Inhale, once again, reach the hands straight out from the shoulders, thumbs back. Pinky fingers reaching away from the heart. And shoulder blades like those two even plates towards the heart. But then when you reach the arms up, you feel them glide up towards the ceiling. Clasp your fingers, take your index finger straight up here. And let the shoulder blades reach up a little bit. And go to the next heel. Just let your arms float back down. You stand into Tadasana one more time, just notice. Front body, back body, and the heart region, just in a balanced way. So it might mean you need to take the upper arm bones back a little more. The collarbones up a little bit more. It does help to reach downward through the pinky finger side of your hand. Simply notice kind of imprint this opening in your body. Good, and then how to use. I'm gonna move your blocks out of the way now. And this is where we need, and if Shelley came in a little later, didn't hear me say we're gonna need a wall at some point. So we're gonna take this short edge here on the wall. If you don't have a wall, hold on. Getting shoulders down before, I'm not used to walls. You can do it that way, but there's benefits sometimes to using support, so I'm gonna explain this to you. You're gonna take your cheek blankets with the rounded edge away from the wall. And just make sure that you have a firm, flat blanket. And I'm shorter, if you didn't notice, in stature. So my distance from the wall is a little bit more than one of my feet. It's like 1.5 my feet. If you're longer than torso, I'd say maybe a little bit more space than that. So take 2 blankets in that same position. Just make sure that they're lined up with the rolled edges on top of each other, and that you have a firm stack. And have a strap nearby. We're gonna start without the strap, and then we're gonna add in the strap.
And then just watch and online, I'll talk you through what you, I hope you can see some of it based on the angle. But I'll talk you through it before you try it. So you don't have to look at me while you do it, and then I'll talk you through it when you do it. So for starters and throughout, when we do shoulder stand, we want the weight, it's called shoulder stand, it's the weight goes in our shoulders. To keep my neck happy and free and clear, I want to keep my shoulders inside this roll of the blanket, but my neck off. To come up, to really kind of anchor that area into the blanket, I want to root the elbows down, in fact, the whole from upper arm, from the shoulder to the elbows. I want to root, take my gaze towards the chest. And the wall comes in handy because I can walk my feet up. We're going to start just with the knee bend position. Scoop the shoulder blades in towards the spine a little more, then support the back. The gaze goes out the chest. And the closer I can get my hands towards the shoulder blades, the easier it is to open. So I'll talk you through this much. So go ahead and come onto your blanket. Line yourself up so that your shoulders are inside that blanket roll. And take your hands to the back of your head. So your thumbs like are right at the back of your skull, like occiput. And just rotate your head a little bit so your chin goes a little more towards your chest. Keep your gaze there. And then take your hands by the sides of your waist. You'll tuck the elbows in, fingers to the ceiling. But now just notice back of your shoulders, the whole upper arm, back of the shoulders to the elbow, press down. Yeah, and then keep that. Take your hands by the side of your hips. Take your feet up to the wall. And just part way up, press your feet into the wall, lift your hips up. And then tuck your arms under you a little more and catch below your hips and your back. Keep your feet apart, keep your gaze towards your chest. So hold your hips through your spine. Yeah, so hold, yeah. So you want to keep the elbows back into this position, but then scoop your, yeah. Yeah, and then notice here as you press from the upper arms to the elbows down, the collarbone space opens up and the shoulder blades come evenly forward. Keep your gaze at your chest. And then slowly lower your hips down, rest, keep your head low. We're going to try again. This time with the help of a strap. Yeah. So with this strap, what you're gonna do is, again, I'll talk you through it coming back up, but this time when you lift up, you're gonna take your strap behind your back and hold it like this once you're up. And you'll notice that helps you engage. It's the upper arm rotating out. So don't put it behind the back now, just put it across the front of your body. So this is just adjustment of your body. Now you'll be easier to access that one. So come back onto your blanket, shoulders on the inside of your roll. Elbows root, the whole shoulder to elbow region root. Yeah, and then lift up. Just lift your hips up and then take the strap behind your back. Wrap your hands on the strap so that when you pull on it, and your hands are wider than your shoulders, so give yourself plenty of space. So your elbows are reaching, they're straight. Your fingers are reaching towards the wall. Yeah, and you're pressing the strap away. Yes, so even more. So the shoulder blades really come in towards your chest. You're touching. It's this way. Yes, there you go. Yes, now notice that gives you a little bit more. So note your arms are straight. So your arms are straight on the strap. You're wrapping and pulling away to get the upper arm to rotate out. Yes, it's that. It's this motion. Yeah. Yes. Is there a way to not slide on the blanket?
Yes. Go ahead and release your strap. Lower your hips down. So if you're sliding, it's about not anchoring from the shoulder to the elbow. So our last variation here. So the strap gives you a sense of action in the arms. So we want the action in the arms. If the strap helps you get that, you can use the strap again. And our last variation. So if I'm sliding, it means I'm really not rooting here. I really want to root the elbows to the shoulders. So in this position, your shoulder blades, the spine between your shoulder blades rather should feel like it's away from the blanket. In our final pose, the closer I can get my hands to my shoulder blades, the more vertical my spine goes. So we're gonna come onto the tips of the toes and try one leg and then the other leg out. And talk you through it. So it's all about the anchor. So before you come up, just anchor the elbows to the shoulder, to the elbows rather. Feel the spine between your shoulder blades lift up. And then lift your hips up and tuck one shoulder and then the other under you a little bit more. Get your hands as close as you can to your collarbones, or sorry, to your scapulas, and then scoop your spine up. Press the elbows down, keep your gaze at your chest. And then take one foot up and then the other. And if you're comfortable with just one foot up, that's fine. So you support your hips now, easy. Yeah. Your spine is, yeah, keep it coming to the right pose. You just want to keep your shoulders on that. And you can try to do one foot up. Good. And then try the other one. One at a time is fine.
Yeah, I don't think I want to do that.
Yeah, plus you're not stable because you're only 3 points there. Good, and then as you're ready, keep your head low. And take one foot back to the wall. And then the other. And then walk your feet down. Take your feet to your mat. And now with your head down, your whole body down, just shift your weight off of your blankets until your shoulder blades are on the floor. And take your arms out in the goalpost position. So your hips are on the mat, your head is low. You just want to keep your head down after inversion. So inversions are great for a lot of things. Shoulder stand is considered the mother of all asanas. Good for anything that ails you, especially upper respiratory issues, sinuses, chest, asthma, all that stuff. Good, now with your knees bent, slowly roll to your side, catching yourself with your hands. You guys are fine as wherever you are. I'm just gonna turn my mat so that you can see our final pose. And there's many modifications to this final pose, so let me show you the full pose and then try to modify it for what suits you. It's called fish pose. So to come into fish pose, again, just watch first and I'll talk you through. You recreate the same thing with your back of the shoulder to the elbow supported. In this case, I'm going to tuck my shoulder blades in towards the spine. Release the hands by the side. And then depending on your shoulder mobility, and I'm going to show you the full pose first. You lift your hips and slide your hands under so that your palms are up. And you're supporting the weight of your body, your hips into your palms. Notice the position of my chest. In this position, open and the shoulder blades are towards the chest. Extending the legs. Now this might be your fish pose. It might even be that your hands are not underneath you. I'll show you that one in a moment. Definitely the weight shifts now from the upper arm to the lower arm. So to come into full fish, I have to support my weight on the forearms from my elbow to the fingers. I only want you to try it if you can freely clear your head from the floor. And then take the center part of your head to the floor. So I'm not rolling on my head to get back. To come out, I want to anchor the forearm weight again. Clear the head, tuck the chin. And lower down. So, couple modifications, if your hands don't go under, you can keep your hands by your side. Rotate though the whole upper arm out so your thumb side of the hand presses down. This might be your fish pose. It's really about the position of the chest, front of the heart and back of the heart again. So as much as I can get the shoulder blades towards the spine and the lower tip of the shoulder blade pointing towards the ceiling now. So I'll talk you through the full line, but you decide for you, am I gonna slide my hands under? Am I gonna be able to clear my head? You don't have to. I'm just gonna watch as I guide you through. So start with your knees back, your feet flat. Take your arms again next to your ribs with your fingers to the ceiling. And in this position, feel the back of your shoulder to your elbow, just kind of really connected, rooted downward, yeah. And then extend your arms with your palms up next to your hips. Rotate your upper arms out so the thumb side of your hand touches the ground. And then try lifting your hips up and sliding the hands under your hips. So the upper arm has to rotate out. If that hurts your shoulder, don't do it, just keep your hands by your side. If your hands are by your side, really work to rotate the thumb side of the hand and arm into the floor. Take your knees together, extend your legs one at a time. Keep the ball mounts, your big toes touching, rotate the thighs in and extend your balls of the feet forward like you're pressing on a gas pedal, yeah. And then to come into the full pose, shift your weight into your forearms from your elbow to your wrist, press down there, lift your chest and head off the floor. Yeah, Molly, I don't like it with my watch on there. Yeah, and only if you can free and clear your head and drop your head back. It's actually kind of nice to open and close your mouth in that position. It gives a great stretch to the muscles across the front and sides of your neck. Whatever variation you're in, the shoulder blades are lifting towards the chest. The thigh muscles are hugging in and rotating in. As you're ready to come out, as you exhale, root the forearms down again. And then inhale, lift and clear your head, tuck your chin, lower down. And then pause and just rest with your hands by your side. And just notice here, arms by your side, the back of the shoulders touching the floor now. Notice the sense of evenness here in the front of your heart and the back of your heart. If you're comfortable here for your relaxation pose, you can stay as you are. If you feel like you need supports under your head, over your eyes, under your knees, you can take them, but then just come back to a neutrally aligned position. And so neutral alignment. In fact, before you settle in too deeply, one more time with your arms by your side, rotate your upper arms out, move from the shoulder joint so that you can feel the thumb side of your hand pressing the floor. Yeah. And then let the hand soften, and let the shoulders soften. You can take your eye pillow on if you have one. Good, and just kind of scan the body from the crown of your head to your heels, noticing that central alignment. Thank you. And then noticing the front of the heart and the distance along the length of your clavicle, your collarbones. The opening across the chest. And the opening in the back of the heart. And just notice what you notice there. And as you settle in, let your inner gaze drop into the heart center and the seat of consciousness. Yoga is the centering of consciousness in the heart.
Let your gaze drop into that space. And from that space, simply observe. Observe your breath. Observe your body. Observe your awareness. The capacity for openness and stillness. Slowly begin to bring a hint of awareness back to your body. To wiggle your fingers and toes, just notice the space between your fingers and toes. Notice the touch of air on your skin. Gently bring one hand to rest in the heart center, the other to rest in your belly. Pausing to notice the fullness of your breath. And your body responding to your breath. And gently bring one knee up and then the other. And roll to your side, resting for a few breaths with your eyes closed. Use your hands as you guide yourself back up to the seat. And see with your spine tall, and an awareness of that front body, back body balance. Take your elbows, bring the ribs one more time, spin your thumbs back, feel the heart open. With the shoulder blades engaged towards the spine. In that place of front and back heart balance, gently bring the hands to Anjali Mudra as you consider an intention to place before your heart that will serve you for the rest of this day, maybe even this week, this month, and this year. And then vowing to honor the integrity of that intention, that it may be so. Namaste. Happy Wednesday. I will post this online, those of you that are doing the online practice. Email me if you have any questions or text, one is fine. There's in class, so you can ask me if you have any questions. Thank you all for being here. Thank you. Yeah, so many questions? You're welcome.
It was way too much, but.
And you look like you're like in that place.
I was so good, yes, they know.